Nahmaduhu wa nasalli ala rasulil kareem wa nashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah wa nashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Respected viewers and listeners, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This Quranic understanding program is presented by Adult Quranic Education Program, Srinagar. Today we shall turn to read few more verses from chapter 2, Al-Baqarah, starting from verse number 259. Please focus your attention towards your copies of Quran, which I'm sure you are holding in your hands now. Is verse number 259. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful. Or take the similitude of the person who passed by a hamlet or who passed by a township. And that township had fallen down to ruins. Everybody dead around. This man started thinking and said, how is Allah going to bring this township back to life? Then Allah made him to die. For 100 years. Then raised him again. Asked him, how long were you in this state? He said, I feel labista yawman abada yawm. I was in this state for a day or a part of the day. Allah Almighty said, Bal labista miyata am. No, man, you were in this state for 100 years. But see the miracle. Fanzur ila ta'amika wa sharabika. Look towards have a look on your food and drinks which you are carrying along. Lam yatasanna. It has not changed. It has not decomposed. It is as fresh as it was 100 years before. Vanzur ila himarik. But see a parallel picture. Look towards your donkey. You were riding. That is reduced to ashes. That means it's bone broken and decomposed. And we're going to make you a sign for humanity, for all the people. Now, O man, have a look on these scattered bones of your donkey. How shall we gather them? Then we shall cover them or clothe them with flesh. When it became clear to him, and he watched it with his own open eyes, he said, I know, my Lord, I know, that surely Allah has power over everything. Then next was another story, again about Abraham. Wise Kala Ibrahim. And recall once Abraham said to his Lord, Rabbi, O my Lord, Arini, you show me, kaifa tuhiyil mauta. How you bring dead back to life. Allah asked him, O Abraham, awalam tu'min? Don't you have faith in it? Don't you believe in it? In the life hereafter? Bala Abraham, my Lord, yes, I do. I do have faith. I only seek satisfaction of my heart. Allah said, okay, فَخُذْ أَرْبَعَةً مِنَ الطَّيْرِ. You take 4 birds. 4 birds. فَصُرْهُنَّ إِلَيْكَ. Then commit them towards your own self. ثُمَّ جِعَلْ عَلَى كُلِّ جَبَلٍ. Then put or throw on all the mountains around مِنْهُنَ جُزَى, their pieces, scattered pieces. ثُمَّ دْعُوهُنَّ. Then call them again as you used to call them before. يَأْتِينَكَ سَعْيًا. They shall come to you flying in a haste as they used to. Wa'lam, I know it. Anna Allah Azizul Hakim. Surely Allah is exalted in might and He is all wise. Okay, these are 2 small short stories, but full of lesson. We come back to our today's lesson. This starts from verse number 259. I hope you remember last time we read about Abraham having confrontation with ruler of the time as Nimrod. And how at the end of the day, Nimrod was confounded, thunderstruck, rendered speechless before Abrahamic arguments. But still he did not believe. That's why Quran says, Allah doesn't forcibly guide such people who, despite seeing all the signs and all the arguments, still reject faith. Allah doesn't force them. Because La ikraha fi deen, there is no compulsion in religion. Now another story. Quran says, Aw kallati, marra ala qaryah, or take the similitude of one. Take the similitude of one. Marra ala qaryah, who passed by a hamlet. وَهِيَ خَاوِيَةٌ عَلَى عُرُوشِهَا, and that hamlet or the town had fallen to ruins. That is the story of another person, another man. It is not mentioned who was it. But from the discussion, as explained by Quran, it appears he has to be a prophet. Because Quran says, Allah asked him, how long were you in this state? He replied, Allah told him, that means he was in conversation with God. Those conversations are only possible with prophets or messengers, not ordinary people. That makes us to believe the story of the person who is mentioned here, without name, of course, he has to be a prophet. But we see some similar stories in Old Testament. Though Quran doesn't mention name anywhere, this story is only here, nowhere mentioned again. So no name. In Old Testament collection of books, our 39 books Old Testament is comprised of, there's a book of Ezekiel. There's something similar story like that, resembling. So some Muslim scholars believe maybe it is the story about Prophet Ezekiel. In Arabic we call him Hezekiel. It is biblical Ezekiel. It may be him. It is Prophet Nehemiah. He was also a prophet. It's regarding. But Quran is not bothered or concerned about the names. Quran is concerned, it relates some stories, but only to derive lesson from those stories. So moral, not by names and by unnecessary details. Quran is not concerned about that. So it is here that explain in the simple possible words. Quran gives an example. A person, a man, was passing by a hamlet or a town, which he looked around. He was riding a donkey that was used for riding that time, and now it is used in some parts of the world. He was riding. He had to go from one city to another. He was carrying foodstuff with him, food and drinks on the journey. And passing through a hamlet or a township, he found that it has fallen to ruins. Houses collapsed. No human being visible anywhere. Something had struck them. Whether it was punishment from God, or it was some epidemic, or whatever it was, there was no sign of life anywhere. An idea struck this man who was passing. Maybe he was Ezekiel, the prophet. He thought, he said, how come Allah is going to bring them back to life when they are dead? No soul seen anywhere around moving, no moving creature. But Quran says, what did happen? He broke his journey, he wanted to stay for some time. Allah caused him to die. His soul was taken out. And he died, this man. Then after some time, God brought him back to life. He raised him again, revived him, granted him life again. Then asked him, oh man, the prophets are also humans. Oh man, how long were you in this state? Because you slept. Maybe he might have slept and thought, I'm sleeping. I want to have a rest. But his soul was taken out. Death had overtaken him. Thus he was not now alive. When he woke up after some time, which Allah revived him, raised him again. He thought, I'm woken up from sleep. It is almost the same story, like we find in the matter of the people of the cave, companions of the cave, Ashab-i Kahf. It's something resembling story. Okay, when he woke up, Allah asked him, oh man, tell me, how long were you in this state? That means state of rest, in a sleep or slumber. How long? Man started thinking. He started thinking and said, oh, I feel I was in the state for a day or a part of the day. But Allah said, oh man, don't you know? The fact is that you were in the state of sleep or whatever you call it, in the state of death. You were in this condition for 100 years. He was surprised. Said, how come? For 100 years? Is it really that? Allah said, yes. You can see it yourself. Firstly, see towards your foodstuff you were carrying. See it. It is as fresh as it was. No decomposition. No change of taste. It is okay. It is as fresh as it was. That's one aspect of it. Look around. Look towards, where is your donkey? Oh man, they were riding donkey. Where is that donkey? He had to look. What he found? The donkey was no more. He had since died, not only died, collapsed, his body decomposed, no flesh. And no, even bones were scattered. They were broken down bones, decomposed bones, scattered here and there. These were two pictures, simultaneous pictures. Then Allah told him, now I'm going to make you a sign for people. That means you are going to be a living example who has watched life after death, because you have yourself observed it on your own self. And I'm going to make you a sign for people. Now, oh man, since he's a prophet, as it is clear from this discussion, or discourse, or conversation here with God, so Allah asked him, now see towards the scattered bones of your donkey. How we shall gather them, then arrange them, and then we shall clothe them before your eyes by flesh. And it will become the same donkey you were riding, your own donkey. And it happened. He watched it, and it became clear to me. He said, oh my God, I had a perfect faith in you, and I have perfect belief and faith in life hereafter. By the way, this idea struck me. I didn't say that I didn't believe in the resurrection. I didn't say, because prophets are embodiments of faith. Their faith that never wavers. They don't deviate. He said, I said, how? Not give. Is it possible? No, I had full faith in the resurrection and life after death. I just desired to see how can it happen. Now I have seen it with my own eyes. And it became clear. He said, and I'm sure, and I know it, Allah has power over everything. This is the first story. Now we should read this word, it become clear to us. Or take the similitude of the person, marra ala karya, who passed by a hamlet or a town, and that town had fallen down to ruins, dead all the way. Qala, he said with his own self, Anna yuhyi hazillahu ba'da mawtiha. How Allah is going to bring this township back to life? That doesn't mean he wanted to see how. Otherwise, he said, yes, it is as we believe, yes, we are going to be resurrected. We'll die and we'll be recreated on the day of judgment and put to account. But we don't know how it is going to happen. Prophets also know. Ezekiel also knew it. Yes, he had full faith in it, but he wanted to just, and I just struck his mind that how it is going to happen. That's only. Not that he didn't have faith. This point will become clear when we'll need another story of Abraham, just next verse. The man said, how is Allah going to bring this township back to life? Allah caused him to die for 100 years. Then revived him, resurrected him, brought him back to life. Qala then asked him. He didn't know. Man, he didn't know him. He just had a nap. He thought, I'm sleeping for a while. And he woke up. He didn't know that my soul was taken out. And 100 years have passed. He thought that I was tired. So I wanted to have a rest. I had a rest. Then when he woke up, Qala Allah kam labista. How long were you in this state? Qala, he said, thinking, Oh my Lord, labista yawman awada yawm, I was in this state for a day or a part of the day, what I feel. Allah said, no man, bal labista mi'ata am. You were in this state for full 100 years. Now, if you have any doubt, and a prophet cannot have any doubt, just to make him see and watch and assure him that's a fact. Fanzur ila ta'amik, he was ordered, oh man, look towards your food, al-sharabik, and your drinks you are carrying. Lam yatasanna, it has not decomposed, it has not changed in taste or color. This one side, see other side, you try to look it where your donkey is. Man started looking around, no donkey around. See towards your donkey. And we are going to make you a sign for the people. Now see towards these scattered bones, that means scattered bones of your donkey you were riding. Look towards them. They're scattered. Now see how shall we gather them and arrange them? Then we shall cover them or clothe them with flesh, and it will become the same donkey which your donkey which you were riding 100 years back. When it became clear to him, watched it with his own eyes, he said, Alam, I know, and I had faith in earlier. Now I have seen with my own eyes, that Allah has power over everything. Now, another story, that's about Abraham. Verse number 260. In the same way, Abraham once prayed to his Lord, oh my Lord, you show me, you show me how can you bring the dead back to life? Again, that doesn't mean Abraham didn't have faith. He only wanted how can it happen? Though he knew, yes, Allah is going to do it, he will do it. That was the essential ingredient of his faith. That's why Avalam Tumin, Allah to ask Abraham, Avalam Tumin, don't you believe? Don't you have faith in life after death? Kala Bala, Abraham said, my Lord, I do have full faith in that. I only want satisfaction of my heart. Allah said, okay, focus arba'atan min at-tayr. Take 4 birds. That means you take 4 birds. And then fasurhuna ilayk. Commit them to your own self. Commit means that, there are many birds which can be tamed. And we can fly by just whistling of their master. Or when the master calls them back, with his own way, that language better known to them, by a whistle or by some verbal words, even they're flying in high heavens, they come back and follow the instructions of their master. We see locally about pigeons, special variety of pigeons, white pigeons. They are committed to their masters. They are trained to fly. Just by this, even the master simply points a finger like this, they start flying. And when you call them by gesture or by word or by whistle, they come back. It's like that. We see it now, even today. Abraham was asking, Allah asked him, Fakus arba'atan min at-tayr. Oh Abraham, you take 4 birds. Fasurhuna ilayk. Then commit them to you. That means you tame them to the extent that they should follow your instructions. You tell them, come on, they should come to you. You tell them, fly, go back, fly in the heavens, they should fly. That's what is done with birds, many kinds of birds like that. Abraham did it under divine command because he wanted to see life after death. Then Allah said, then put or throw pieces of these birds on the mountains around. It was a mountainous place where Abraham was that time. Throw them on the mountain. That means after taming them, after they are committed to you, after they follow their instruction, whatever you ask them to do, they do, then slaughter them. After slaughtering them, cut them into pieces, mix those pieces together. Then those mixed pieces you throw on the mountain around. Then call them back. The way you used to call them, whether by whistle or by your words of your tongue or by your gesture. Come on, as we see local language people do it. The masters of the words, they're experts. Then then call them again as you used to. You will see, though you have slaughtered them, cut them into pieces, and don't throw that mixed piece on different mountains around. You'll see, they should come flying in haste to their master, to you, they'll be coming to you. And Abraham did, and it did happen. And Abraham was satisfied. Allah told him, asked him, I know, O Abraham, Allah Aziz, that Allah is exalted in might. He can do anything. He has all the powers. Hakim, but simultaneously he is full of wisdom. He's all wise. He does everything by his might and by his knowledge and wisdom. He does everything. Sadaqallahu al-Azim. وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم والحمد لله رب العالمين.